Is there a reason why still doing child abuse?
Why is there a child abuse?
How will you know if it is a child abuse?
Why is it important to know this type of child abuse?
How will you know if it is child abuse already?
So our vulnerable group for this advocacy are minor. So what do we mean by minor? Minors are defined as those under the age of 18. In law, the term minor, also called as infant or infancy, can be referred to a person who is under the age of majority, the age at which a person which is legally recognized as an adult. In our country, children who are below 18 years of age are considered as minor. It is according to the Republic Act No. 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. It says in the law that child is a person who is under the age of 18. So why our advocacy is vulnerable to the minors? Infants and young children can be vulnerable to certain types of abuse, such as abusive head trauma and physical or medical neglect because of their small physical size. That is why we are engaging this advocacy to raise awareness to the minors out there.
Republic Act Number 7610, an act providing for the stronger deterrence and the special protection for against the child abuse, exploitation, and discrimination. Many laws we are educated to protect children, but still prevalent today. Should we hold our government to accountable? I don't believe it's us to protect ourselves and ensure that our parents and each of us has a proper mindset. Any act that significantly harms a child, whether it be an adult or a child, is considered child abuse. It may be physical, sexual, or emotional, but it also frequently stems of lack of affection, respect, and emotion.
First, a person can do wrong because of the people who surround him. He is not aware of the right custom. In our country, the Philippines, we know that it is difficult for this system to spread because of the welfare of each of us is not insignificant. And the rate of abuse has increased even more now that there is a pandemic. It's just sad to think that the child is not being properly raised.
This is the right way to raise children. We must protect them because the system is broken and people's minds are different now. There are other children we have heavy and feelings or a lot of anger towards the parents. And the behavior is they only find the strength in themselves. But it's because of trauma of them. And they will never forget the event that occurred.
And then it all comes back. Every word, hurt. Every moment. How could you ever understand where I come from? Even if you ask, even if you listen, you do not really hear or see or feel. You don't remember my story. You haven't walked my path. You haven't seen what I've seen.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ali K. Jessica M. and I'm here to discuss the advocacy of our group. In our group, we have 3 advocacy. Our first advocacy is rape should be punishable by death penalty. The current situation of the rape crime here in the Philippines is reclusion perpetua, imprisonment from 20 to 40 years. The current situation of rape penalty here in our country is reclusion perpetua, imprisonment from 20 to 40 years is imposed to the offender if rape is committed through sexual intercourse. That is the current situation of rape crime here in our country. But our group wants to change it because if there is no excuse for abuse, there is no also excuse for rape. Also, we want this to be implemented so no one will dare to commit rape. Our second advocacy is remove the right of the abuser to interact to the people he or she abused. Let me ask you this. Do you think the victim still wants to interact to the abuser? No, right? I will ask you. Yes, you. If you put yourself in the situation of the victim, would you want to interact to the people who abuse you? Definitely no, right? This advocacy is very helpful, especially for mentality. Its aim focus is to avoid psychological problem or disorder that can be possibly happen to the victim. Also, this is for the people who can't speak up and stand for themselves because of fear. By means of this advocacy, the victim will no longer be troubled on how to avoid the abuser because there is a law that he or she can hold that will be implemented, which is removing the rights of the abuser to interact with the people he or she abused. Our last advocacy is iprioridad ang bata sa budget ng bansa. Dr. Jose Rizal said, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. But do you think that these children referred to by Dr. Jose Rizal will still be the hope of our country if they are uneducated, unhealthy, and not prioritized? Not right? By means of this advocacy, the said hope referring by Dr. Jose Rizal will be maintained and ensured protected from the disease and will be healthy and will be able to study because of this advocacy that we want to be implemented. So this is the end of our advocacy. Again, I am Ali K. Jessica M.